4 stitches, going to the emergency room at 1 a.m., never receiving a letter as a priority, and getting roasted by my followers. Here's a story that happened to me during my vacation. This is one of my last videos in this studio, so I'm making the most of it to create content for you. To tell you a little story from my vacation that happened to me this summer about how a car trip ended with 2 stitches. It even rhymes, which is cool, but I want to keep it light. As you'll see, the story is pretty ridiculous. I also asked for puns with my stitches, and honestly, some ideas were incredible. My arm got cut. Did you still have a good vacation? Whether I had a good vacation or not, you'll see at the end of the story. It's up to you to judge if it was a good vacation or not. At least, you could say your vacation left its mark on you in a certain way. Yeah, I'll tell you about it. Well, I'm not going to tell you about my whole vacation, but I'll give you a quick summary. I was in the South with some friends in a house, and we went there by car. I mentioned that we went there by car because that's actually the subject of the story. A friend parked the car in the house's parking lot, and we didn't really pay attention. But a light stayed on. You know, the light that turns on when you open the door, right in the middle. So you open the door, it turns on, you close the door, it turns off. But you can also choose to turn it on intentionally, and in that case, it doesn't turn off. So, well, it's not too serious, it doesn't use a lot of energy, except the problem is that we realized this 2 days later. 2 days later, obviously, when we noticed and went to the car. Well, there's no more battery, there's just no more battery. To the point that you can't even press the key to open it. You know, the click, 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 click. Well, it goes. It does nothing, that's it. It means we have a car battery failure to the point that we can't even open the car anymore. And the problem is that to open the hood and access the battery, well, you actually need to open the door to be able to do it. A little crank, you see, so actually we're completely stuck. And yes, I have to point that out because otherwise it would have been too easy. The key we had wasn't a mechanical key that we could use to open the car's exterior lock. Well, yes, obviously, otherwise it would have been too easy. That's when the car owner's parents step in, since they have a mechanical key they can send us by mail. I almost mentioned the post office, but honestly, I don't want to anymore because we had serious problems with them. You'll see with the rest of the story that's coming up now, so we're going to show a little schedule so you can get an idea of the timeline of the days. Just like that, there you go. We realized the breakdown on Monday. The key was shipped on Tuesday at 10 a.m. from Alsace to the south. Since we didn't have access to the mailbox at the house, we said, we'll have it shipped directly to the post office instead. That way we can go pick it up and everything's fine. On top of that, I thought, well, exactly. Having it delivered to the post office might be faster since there's one less stop. That's from the post office to the mailbox. The keys were sent by priority mail. The mailman told us, like, don't worry, it'll arrive within 24 to 48 hours max, there's no problem. Well, actually, there is a problem, apparently. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here telling you this story. To be honest, I would have preferred not to have to tell it. So, Tuesday comes and nothing happens. We were supposed to get updates with the tracking for the keys package. No news on Wednesday, but then we get an update saying the key was sent out Wednesday morning. Wait, it was shipped Tuesday morning as a priority, and then it's shipped Wednesday morning? When you give the post office a priority package, they think it can wait until tomorrow. Post office, aren't you supposed to ship all packages after 4 p.m.? No, I don't want to criticize the post office because I use this service to ship all the orders from my BrunoGrapher.com shop. But this time, they were really a pain to top it all off. During that period, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Bruno Grapher had a stomach flu. Really? It's wonderful to be stressed out on vacation, not knowing how you're going to get home, being annoyed with a postal service that doesn't work, and on top of that, having diarrhea. Because according to that famous schedule, we were supposed to leave Friday morning, and the tracking says the key is supposed to be delivered on Thursday. Oh great, so Thursday we're waiting for the key, but it doesn't come. Well, it's okay, we still have Friday morning to get the key. So, what happens next? We don't get any updates, so we decide to just go straight to the post office to see if our key is there. Is it there? No, that would have been too good to be true. At the post office, they tell us, yeah, well, the priority ones indeed. Sometimes they're delayed. Well, what is it? Is it priority or not? Actually, I don't get it. What's the point of paying? Because yeah, we pay more for priority shipping. The post office tells us to go check a sorting center that's 30 minutes away. But, let me remind you, we don't have a car anymore. That's exactly why we need the key to open the car and fix the battery terminal. Anyway, it's just... But it's lucky that there are other friends who had a car, and we're planning to go somewhere along the way too. They can give us a ride, which is great. And when we get to the sorting center, we told them, well, here it is. We have a package with this tracking number. We don't know where it is. Tell us where it is, because there was also no update on the package tracking. And then, at that moment, when we were at the sorting center, 30 minutes from where we were staying, the woman at the reception tells us,
Oh yeah, well, actually it's in another sorting center, an hour and a half away from here.
but how come it ended up over there? Then she tells us, yeah,
There must have been a mistake reading the postal code, and so it went to the wrong place.
So basically, let me sum up the post office, right? Here it is. You send a letter by priority mail, it gets shipped a day late compared to when you posted it, and you're supposed to get it within 48 hours. In the end, it's already 24 hours late. And then he gets the postal code wrong on the letter and sends it to the wrong place. So you lose another one, maybe 2 or 3 days, because on top of that, there's the weekend, and then we're supposed to get our letter the following Monday. No, really, it was a crazy thing then. Either we don't know where to sleep, and we wait until the following Monday with a broken down car, and potentially a weekend with nothing to do. Or we give ourselves some stitches, and that's where it comes in. Yep, Buddy's point of view. You hurt yourself to stay on vacation longer. New activity, sewing. Yes, actually, it was the first time I ever got stitches. And honestly, I wish it had happened in a different way than such a stupid way. Let's go back a little in time. Am I crazy? I'm completely crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy for you. Are you crazy? Yeah, yes. Flashback. Remember, we were at the sorting center. It was Friday, around 11 in the morning. Something like that. So, either we had the option to go to the other sorting center where the key was lost. We don't know where it is. He didn't even have it. We don't know anything. It was an hour and a half drive away. I won't even tell you the price of the Uber. I think it was something like 160 euros. And on top of that, you have to pay for it. A round trip, it starts to get expensive. Shipping a key, so we forget about that solution and instead we take an Uber to go back home. And try to find a solution for this car we don't have the keys to. In the morning, we had planned ahead too, since our friends weren't at the house, and we had bought a booster for the starter emergency pack. Thing, you know, the mosquitoes. It's a small box, 2 cables, a red clamp, a black clamp. You connect it to your battery, it goes blah blah blah, and it starts. Once we got home, we had to make a decision about how we were going to open the car, open the hood, fix the battery, and be able to leave. Because, well, by the way, it was the day we had to give back the house and we had to leave. He wanted to make an artistic move, his arm gave up, but my arm didn't totally give up. I did exactly the move I wanted, except, well, you get it. I tried to break the car window. I succeeded, but I also managed to cut my arm. Don't do this at home, but if you ever want to break a car window, protect your arm. Start by protecting the window. Telling myself, well, that way, if there are shards, I won't get them in my face. Except that the protection on the window prevents the window from breaking, so I remove the protection from the window, and I don't think maybe I should protect my arm, and I just go for it directly. Like an idiot like that with a big rock. Really, filming at my place is a mess. And yet today, I haven't had my coffee. So, a quick rundown of the situation. It's super hot. There are cicadas, there are palm trees. No, I'm kidding, but anyway, me with my arm sweating. The car with the pool next to it and pieces of glass everywhere, even in the pool. So we had to clean the pool, the ground, and the car. I'm laughing about it, but I don't even know how I managed. We had absolutely nothing to disinfect, make bandages, and so on. I'll tell you how I treated my arm. I put hand sanitizer, 90% alcohol on my arm. I suffered. My grandmother. I used reusable cotton pads, held in place with a backpack strap. MacGyver style, really. Anyway, now we have one less window on the car, but at least we'll be able to open the trunk and start the car. With the battery starter pack, which we managed to connect to both terminals of the battery. And guess what? Nothing happens. Nothing, not even a little bit of nothing, like there's nothing showing on the device, nothing happens with the battery, you try to start the car, it doesn't start, nothing at all. Nothing to do with it. So, we call the customer service of the auto shop that sold us this thing that doesn't work. Here, let me reenact the situation for you. Yes, hello? We bought a starter pack and it doesn't work.
Yes, so, did you try plugging it in? Yes, did you try pressing it? Yes, did you try plugging it in? No, I have a life, that's probably why it doesn't work.
Okay, he wasn't helpful. What we learned later, and honestly, you don't need to be that smart to realize it. That is, if the battery is completely dead, this kind of emergency kit thing won't work. It's made to take the little bit of energy left in the battery to give it a boost and be able to start the car. And then, with the car's alternator, well, it keeps recharging the battery, except that if your battery is completely dead, well, this thing that gives your battery a boost can't give a boost out of nothing. Except that, well, the salesman who's supposed to be specialized in the things he's selling could have told us that. Seriously. Cognone, tell me, I can't believe you'd sell us that. Products that supposedly don't work, when actually they do work, but they're just not suitable. I literally found myself out on the street, stopping every car I saw. Not to hitchhike, but waving my arms like this. So they'd understand that I'm really not asking for a ride, but for help. And I ask absolutely every car I come across if they have jumper cables so they can help us and connect to their battery to start ours. After a good 20 cars and knocking on neighbors' doors, I finally find someone who is absolutely incredible. The guy says to me, I don't have jumper cables, but yeah, I think we can make it work. Go ahead, I have some little things that might do the trick. I'm not too reassured when I hear that. He had a van, he worked in construction just like that, and he gets out of his van. An HDMI cable like that, oh no, it's not an HDMI cable, it's just a piece of cable. He comes over and everything, he takes a small knife, he strips the cable, he strips the other end, he connects it to his battery, and he gives me the cable. I'm there, like, without the crocodile clips, I'm like, let's try to put them like this. I'm scared and it starts the battery and it works. Incredible. Honestly, crazy stuff. I never would have thought it could work, except it's not over yet. Our car had a little oil leak and we had to clean that up before leaving. So the person I was with starts the car, moves forward a little, about 4 or 5 meters, and then turns off the car to go clean the oil stain. So, for those who didn't get it, she turned off the car that we started with another guy who connected his battery, and she turned off the car, so obviously we couldn't start it again. And here we go again! Same thing, trying to hitchhike in front of a bunch of people to try to get some jumper cables. Croco. But the second person who was willing to help us, an hour later, obviously at that point it was 6 post meridium, and I was just done with my day. This second person was driving a Porsche. How could you get better help than from a guy who shows up in a Porsche? Thank you so much. If you see this video, I appreciate you. Similar to the first person who tried to help but ultimately didn't, it's because we're just too dumb. Anyway, we start the car again, everything goes well, and in the meantime, even our friends come back from their day of sightseeing or whatever. Everyone's happy, we're finally going to be able to leave, great, and just as we're leaving, it was a downhill slope. Like that. So we go down the slope, you know, we follow so-and-so, blah, blah, that's it. And then we get to the end of the slope, we have to turn right, which is an uphill. The car stalls. I'll say it again, but we can't start the car, so if it stalls, it's always the same problem. Starting the car again, that's a lot, right? We were already in the middle of the intersection, so that means you stalled right in the middle of an intersection, and you can't restart. There are cars coming from the left, from the right. So-and-so, blah, blah, we pull over to the side. And finally, miraculously, the starter pack kit, so-and-so, thingamajig, it works, and we manage to restart the car. A miracle on the way to Alsace, towards Strasbourg. And at 1 a.m., I find myself in the emergency room for my 4 stitches. And now it's time to read your joke ideas about my stitches. Because honestly, I posted a little story on Instagram and I thought the responses were excellent. And that's what made me want to tell this story. In the video, they look like shooting stars. Warning, spoiler for anyone who's afraid of the sight of blood, but I still put the photo in black and white. Here's what my injury looks like. And it's true that it looks like shooting stars. It looks like a face, guys. You see faces everywhere. It's crazy. Oli's device has messed with your minds. Seriously, you guys are scaring me. The guy, it's turned into a battlefield with barbed wire. Yeah, ouch, Eloy tells me. Put your arm in rice to fix it faster. Well, I'm not sure that's the solution. It's like a vacation that cost you an arm. Maybe more if you include shipping for keys that never arrived and the Uber from the sorting center. You might say you're open to debate and need a right-hand man. I'm hiring. Just send your application by email since I don't have any right-hand men left. I'm from Goal. It's a bit insulting, but honestly very funny. I knew you were an asshole, but to actually make you one. After the vacation, it allowed you to set things straight and make a video that I hope entertained you a lot. When people say memories leave marks, it's true. In the end, it makes for a good story to tell at parties. That's cool. That one, honestly, a 10. It's not a Brazilian bracelet, it's a surgeon's bracelet. I love your ideas, guys. It's incredible you fell while walking. Because if that's the case, it's a Playmobil. Huge joke. A perfectly timed vacation. Your vacation will stay with you. So yes, it's true that it healed well. There are some little spots here, but honestly, healing is perfect. Well, I'll have a little scar. Indeed, it's good to know how to build connections with the regions you visit. Yes, but well, after that, I still had to remove the stitches. Clearly, you're scoring points. Bruno Lelasco, who says all-inclusive vacations, even the hospital. Each stitch, a pin on the chair. Okay, so, wait, there. I'll guide you a little like this. Well, listen, I got 4 stitches. We'll use red pins because it's blood. 1 pin, 2 pins, 3 pins, and 4 pins. Easy, easy. We're going to have to cut your arm off. What will you be? A stump? I think your girlfriend broke up with you because you're too picky. At least the watch mark will be less visible now. Yeah, it's true. I did have a tan line from the watch. Well, yeah, it's a little less noticeable now. 2 more holes. You really got lucky, Bruno. As a graffiti artist, I have 4 points for golden graffiti artist at least. You don't need to dot your I's. It looks like the holes from a vampire who missed his target. Well, it's fine. He actually aimed pretty well though, the taste there. And for me, that's the greatest masterclass. The best of all the puns that was suggested in a story on Instagram by a follower, Motus et Bracusu. Anyway, thanks to everyone for your little contributions to these jokes. Feel free to tell me your worst vacation stories, whether it's from this year or previous years. I hope you liked this video. If so, like, share it with a friend to show them their life is cool, and subscribe. Have a great evening. Ciao, kisses, peace.